Hello, everybody. Today I am in the middle of finishing up transferring some notes from this week's Sunday school lesson that we had at church. And I thought I would bring you along. And this is by no means to teach you. I don't want to teach you, I just want to make you think. This is another way to bring notes into your Bible. So we do, for our Sunday school lessons. And as the Sunday school teacher preacher is talking, I make notes. There are some questions that kind of make you think, and then some commentary and that in there. And so also on the next page, there's just practical points and research and a little article. And I really, really like these Sunday school lessons because I can take, and the scripture's right there, and I can make my notes and everything and make it as messy and as quick and random. And sometimes you'll see that I have a little or a lot, and I try to get them transferred as soon as I can. But in this week, we were in Revelations 14, verses 6 through 13. And this is talking about the three angels, the message from the three angels about the eternal gospel that is coming, the judgment that is coming. And, if you fall and take the mark, then the redemption period is then over. You are not going to be redeemed. And that. So I have added this in here and this. And what I did is I just took this and I kind of put it up here and made my little marks to estimate where this section is so that I can keep it kind of in line. And you can see I've underlined to match the pen color. And then like this one, in the hour of judgment has come, there's a finality here. There is no more chance. And that. So Revelations is a really tough book for a lot of people. And I'm just going to tip this in. And I get it. I get it. It is super complicated and really, what do you call it? Symbolic. There's a lot of symbolism in there. And it is a lot of times hard to discern what should be taken as symbolic and what should not, or what should be taken as literal, when most of the Bible we take as literal. There is symbolism, and there is a lot here, and there's a lot to decipher in Revelation. I took a course last semester on Revelation, and I will show you the rest of the chapter here in a minute. I'm just trying to get this into my Bible. I will add the final note here in a minute, but let me go back to the beginning of Revelation, and you will see I have sticky notes. I made some notes in my Bible during the course that I was going through, and I made a lot of notes in the workbook that we have. So I made, sometimes I would come back and be able to do this, but I wanted to make sure that as I was studying, had a really good grasp. And I knew, so you can see there's really not a whole lot of notes in here. And I do plan to add in, but I wanted to make sure that when I did add my notes, that they were quality notes. I didn't want to just be scrambling during class trying to add this note or that note or whatever. Let me figure out what color I'm doing this in, because okay. So I think we're not doing green because that was over here, but let me see what I got here. Okay. So when I do this, I take a book, and this is just my Bible, one of my Bible commentaries. Sorry about that sound. This one's too big, so we will lower it down into the New Testament one. And I will come in. And right now I'm just not really wanting to make it all, super decorative. I just want to enclose everything and then make my connections here. So I'm just going to do a basic line, and try not to go through the words because I don't like doing that, but sometimes it's unavoidable, and never is it perfect. So this is my big workhorse, like study Bible, and so it really kind of takes a beating here. Let me see. So I'm going to use this one because this is coming back over to verse 9. And I think I'm just going to do some basic, because it's, as I said, I am not all about making sure it's adorable and cute all the time, although that is fun. And I will leave some extra room to add a note or two. And then I want to connect it over here because this is talking about verse 9. So I'm going to just come across here. And then to make this a little bit easier, because I want it to come about here, we're going to come down. And then we're going to come across. So if you haven't done tip-ins before, they are rather handy. You want to try not to do, obviously, every other page, because then it's just going to be really hard on your binding. I'm trying to figure out what color, because I have a note for this that I think should fit in here, and I'm not sure. Let me see. See if this pen's going to decide to work or not. My brown pen, try not to show you, not that I don't trust you all, but do not want my location out there, and I don't know if I didn't know if looking at my bulletin from church was going to have it on there from the side that I had. So verse 13. Okay, so this says Isaiah, and I think I'm just going to do it in black because this is going to be hard. Nope, that's green. Let me see. Which one am I picking? Where did my pen go? There it is. Oop. Sorry about that. I am all over the place today. Isaiah 66, 22 to 24. And it says, Jesus talks about the worm that never dies and the unquenchable fire. So Jesus talks about the worm. And I think this is from a different place. I know Isaiah 66:22 is for here, but I will also look up this cross-reference again just to be sure, because I'm pretty sure that came from a different the worm that never dies and the unquenchable fire. And I think I'm going to separate it like that so that I've got an idea that it's sectioned off there. But if you take some of these meatier, heftier portions of the Bible and break them down into these smaller sections and just do a deeper study and really dive in. And I obviously would suggest starting at the beginning of the book, reading it through maybe a couple of times before you start studying sections like from the beginning and making notes throughout. You might take a notebook or just some scrap paper and make some notes from your thoughts, from prayer. Obviously pray before you study and read, that God will help you to see and understand what he wants you to see. But when you go to study it, make notes and then write down where it came from, and put all that in a different piece of paper or different scrap, notebook or something. And then when you get your thoughts together, then transfer them into your Bible. And I think you will obviously be really more satisfied and happy with your notes if you are concerned about your note taking, about your handwriting not looking good, about not having quality notes in your Bible to help you understand and further your Bible study. So let me go look this up again, and that way I have a correct and full reference to this. So hold on a second. So I had to go double check. So in Mark 9:48, Jesus describes a place where the worm does not die and the fire is never quenched. So, and he's referring to Isaiah. Okay, so I'm just going to come down here and write Mark 9, what is it, 48 I said? Yeah, 48. And this is like, this Bible doesn't have any cross references, no maps, none of it. So within my notes, I put my cross references. Like this is Ecclesiastes over here, and then this one I'm referring to a future, like the, Revelations 19. So if you're wondering about having good notes and making sure that you can read them and use them in the future, use whatever resources you have. Use a devotional, use your Sunday school book, use your pastor's sermon, and use commentaries that you read and put them in your own words to your own understanding and write them in. Color code them as you will. I like using colored pencils to highlight. I don't know if I have any in here. Let me see. Okay, so this obviously is a little crazy right here, but you see how I hope you can see a color pencil right there, and sorry about that. So you can see, in fact, yeah, this is the end of Ephesians. Like I messed up here, so I put washi, and then I added a sticker that I can write on. It covered up the mess up, and I was fine. But you can see here is the highlight, and it goes over to here, and that connects these. And then you can see up here that this highlight, and it goes here. So it just depends on my mood, I guess, and whether I so here's another one. And the color pencil I like because you can erase it. If you highlight the wrong thing, you can erase it. And I am really good about that, marking the wrong thing. When I'm reading the line above or below, I will highlight the wrong line, and then I'll have to erase it. And you want to erase it gently, but the color pencils I use erase just fine. So I wanted to bring that and show that. I wanted to share that with you, and I hope that this helps in your Bible study, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.